It's time for us to come out of fight or flight mode. It's time for us to escape the fear. The ability to love and to be freely loved and to be in love is the most important experience that you'll have on earth. And somehow we have been convinced that that is not real. And we're operating in this space of animalistic pleasure. And instead of us fully indulging and taking in the buffet of what is necessary, we're just responding to each other. We're like, okay, well, you only want one thing from me, or you only want one thing from me, so I'm gonna just take one thing from you. Okay, well, I'll take one thing from you. Bet. That's all we're gonna do. We're just gonna be in exchange of each other. No, that is not the fullness of what God has put us here to experience as far as the masculine and feminine polarity. That is what we have been programmed to do. Now, you do know that everyone has an opposite side of their soul, meaning they have a twin flame, and everyone has the opposite polarity of who they are meant to be. There is an entirely different person walking around on planet Earth that has the other side of your soul, meaning that your souls were split into masculine and feminine polarities and put into separate bodies. So in order for you to find that person, you have to actually embody first the masculine or feminine principle, which you are, so that when you see that person and you see your reflection, you know exactly who that person is. And there's also a very strong magnetism that is involved in twin flame divine unions, meaning that the love is so poignant and powerful, it is undeniable. This is what we should be seeking. As I have explained on this channel, there is a massive orchestration to keep vibratory frequencies low, and love is one of the highest frequencies that you can operate in. So you can just about imagine the level of orchestration it takes to keep everyone separate from who they should be with. You know, you're on dating apps, you're swiping left and right, trying to figure out, okay, how do I approach this thing? And we're going about it all wrong, when we should literally be trying to embody who we should be, which will ultimately attract exactly the person who we're meant to be with. And this is a part of the experience that has been taken away from us. I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Adjustment Bureau with Matt Damon, where he's trying to get this one woman, and there's this society that is keeping them apart because they are so much of twin flames and they love each other so much, and he's chasing her down, and it doesn't matter that they want to erase his brain. He needs this woman to be a part of his life. This is actually true. The Adjustment Bureau of life, in the reality that we exist in, is the ideals that are implanted in your mind about what you should be seeking. The ideals that you need to be hypersexual, or you need to be animalistic, and you need to be operating in your root chakra energy. This is the actual Adjustment Bureau, putting apps in place that you can just swipe left and right in this superficial type of construct, versus you actually going within to find who you truly are, and in finding yourself. In knowledge of self is where you will find your flame. It's where you will find that other individual. You will naturally magnetically draw that person into you. It'll be just like comets crashing into each other. What if the act of adultery is actually being with anyone other than the person that is your person, meaning that your souls are split into two separate bodies, and that's the person you should actually be with? I don't know if you remember in Loki, where Sylvie and Loki were actually falling in love, and they kind of were like reaming them, saying, hey, you know, you guys are like literally the same person. Why would you want to fall in love? It's sick. And they were making it out to seem like it was something wrong with that because he was falling in love with himself. This is exactly what we should be doing in the reality. And when you realize that there's this massive orchestration to keep you away from who you truly should be with, then you would seek to embody exactly who you are, so that you can attract the likeness of yourself. This world is set up in a way where we are always so busy. We don't have time to go within. We don't have time to explore what it is that we truly like. And I believe that is set up that way on purpose, to keep us in fight or flight, to keep us in survival mode, so that we're never going within, so that we can never hear, see, or touch the person that we should actually be with. This is a part of the masculine and feminine principle that we are seeking to head into this new reality, where we are looking for the actual animal magnetism that comes with the twin flame connection. Only the person that exactly mirrors who you are will be able to fully understand who you are. This is the importance of the story of the two witnesses, because if you look at it from the context of them being so powerful when they come together, it's kind of like that movie Hancock, where Will Smith is playing along with another superhero character, that when they come together it causes destruction. Well, these two witnesses of Revelations, when they come together, it causes earthquakes. It increases their power so much so that they have the power to shut up heaven and do plagues on the world. Okay, these two love beings, or these two witnesses, are actually deeply and madly in love with each other, so much so that when she's getting ready to have this baby in this man-child, there is a place that he prepares for her in the wilderness, and takes her away from the madness and away from this devil or this beast that's seeking to devour the child as soon as it's born. He is the white horse rider. I am 100% positive that a large reason why there is all of this chaos going on within this story in Revelations 11 is that there has been a massive orchestration to keep them apart. And the true love story will be when they finally find each other, going off script to go on the path to finding each other and eventually coming together to do this great and powerful thing in the name of love, in the name of God. This is going to be the most monumental reunion ever. Because I believe that the two witnesses are the embodiment of God the Father and God the Mother, or these two divine energies or avatars on earth, their love magnetism being so powerful is actually going to flip the poles. This is what we're calling the pole shift, which is the flipping of the patriarchy to a matriarchy, which is placing the divine feminine in her rightful place. So coming together will actually align everybody else. This was the purpose of the September 11th Twin Tower attack ritual. It was basically to unalive divine feminine energy. And as you can see from this diagram that I created, it says that Set unalive Teps Muse Pinta. A muse is a goddess that inspires the divine masculine. And this is why I do spend a lot of time decoding 9/11, because it is a ripple effect that happens within our society and all of the orchestrations that go into making sure that these two polarities are no longer on one accord. September 11th was implanted in the consciousness of the collective of human beings on planet Earth. Every single decode that I have done in regards to the two witnesses has been all about September 11th. Even the moon machine has the coding of 9/11/2001 within it. All roads lead back to this destruction or this dismantling of the divine masculine and feminine energy. And what we're saying here is that at the end of time, when these two witnesses come together, we are going back to this space. There is a reason why there's this great divide between men and women at this particular point in time, and a lot of it is orchestrated. However, we are getting to a space where we are coming to self-awareness in the fullness of our understanding, and these two witnesses will be pivotal in bringing us back to the space of love so that we can experience love in the fullness that God created us to be able to do. No one should be downing anyone. No one should be angry with anyone. We should all just be indulging in self-awareness and getting to know who we are at our core so that we can peacefully coexist as the two polarities that we're meant to be. There's no Venus versus Mars. Okay? We have been conditioned in this particular role to constantly bicker amongst each other and not truly ever fully understand what it is that we're doing. There is no template for this. It is more so the divine activation of what should actually be. And what we're doing now is we're heading back to that space. So there's been a separation in order for us to come back together, but coming back together in the right form of energy is extremely important. Yes, women are going off to themselves and men are going off to themselves. However, it is time for us to go within so that we can discover who our true polarity should be. Capitalism, 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 okay? There is always this focus on the money, right? And you have this idea that women only want one thing and men only want one thing. But instead of focusing on that, we should be focusing on the fact that, first of all, the system in and of itself is very faulty, okay? Regardless of how this structurally would be set up, whether you're working for money, you're hustling for money, you're running a business for money. If we were in a system where we were trading, okay, and it was about your crops and how much you harvested, that would be the measure of what a masculine man would be worth, basically, or what he would be giving to the divine feminine in terms of what his dowry would be for her. So it's not about money. It's about embodying those energies as a whole. And it's not about what you can get from the person. It's about what you can get from yourselves so that you can come together as two whole individuals. There's no amount of money in the world that would make either of the sexes happy, okay? It's not about money, okay? Money, the lightning.